some of those ad-libs that you do, it's better if you do them like in between the lines and make them worthwhile, you know, like little filling lines, you know, and then the woos come back in, you know. If you fill that up with your ad-lib, it'll be better than if you try singing your own patterns right on top of what we're singing, because it gets lost. Oh, and just one, two.
One of these nights, one of these crazy old nights, we gonna find our pretty mama, what turns on your light. The full moon is falling, the fever is high, the wicked wind whispers and moans. You got to be.
I think that a woman at her age should have reached long ago some sense of stability, which she hasn't reached. I think that a woman at her age should have reached long ago some sense of stability, which she hasn't reached. She's going to fool around with singing or whatever. She should have gotten a musical education.
But you didn't allow her that choice when you were when she was having her education. I mean,
I don't remember that anybody ever drove up and said, I want a musical education.
Well, she was trying her best at that time.
To do nothing. And has succeeded admirably.
All you gotta do is just reach back into your hand. Listen to me now. I just reach back, reach back, reach back and keep it, and turn on the tape deck, you know. Okay, and check it out. Because no matter how low, no matter how blue, no matter how sad the moon you are, there's still one thing you got music. Yeah. And you know where you got it? You know where you got it? Look back and check it out. Listen to me now. I got the music in me. I got the music in me. I got the music in me right now.
No.
Because you disapprove?
Well, not only because I disapprove, but because of the circumstances involved. I strongly, very strongly disapprove of her getting involved with a bunch of niggers.
Now, don't say things like that that would be on
them. Well, hell, that's what I wanted on there for. She asked me a question. I thought it was an answer. She put on the TV she wants to. So I don't think she is. But my whole point is my objection is based on the philosophy that she's degraded herself, that it's a waste of time, it has no future to it, she's not good enough to make success out of it, or she's never even studied music.
And they were always talking about the niggers and everything, which it was obsessive. Now, I had a dream once about Jesus. It was night, and I was looking at the sky, and stars started to fall. First one star, which was okay, then another star. And so I realized that most of the stars were falling, and I started to get very, very excited. And I tried to tell people. I went, knocked on people's doors, and stopped everybody and grabbed them by the arm and said, listen, the Savior is coming back. It's happening now. You know, come outside, look. The stars are falling from the sky. And it was like
Cassandra, like the whole idea of having this whole important message to tell people and having people shrug it off. Right there. I just think it has to do with what people are trying to do. I think I'm definitely trying to stir something up and, get something going, and that most people are not.
Support anybody, child, or anybody else that takes a position exactly against what I think and want to do. I don't care if they wander off and don't take any position, but her attitude's always been she's just going to fight whatever she's figured that I wanted her to do. That's the kind of answer you would expect.
I don't know. What would you like to see her do?
I'd like to see her use her education and steady down and get married and lead what we normally think of as a normal existence.
Do you think there's some people who are made for that kind of existence?
I think a lot of them are not made for that kind of existence. They should be slaves or shot or pushed off the edge. I'm telling you. If she wants wisdom, I don't mind handing her down just a little degree of
well,
wisdom.
as you can see, we differ with this quite a wide gap now. This is from that stuff we were talking about the other day, Okay, this is the way it goes. Just give me that straight line, just give me that sweet straight 9 to 5. I want a paid vacation, hot civilization, and a tax shelter too. I need flexible hours and all my powers of attorney to be vested in you. I'll come in on time, yes, and dress real fine, and you can tell me what you want me to do. We'll take a coffee break at 9, and then again at 10, and take a lunch break all afternoon. Got my security, a great big company to go down on me. The advantage of having this reduced to an apocalyptic vision is that you can see that it's already happened and you can feel a relief and a release.
But nobody cares. There's nobody interested in that. And she thinks she's a crusader, but she has no foundation or background to get an audience. People are going to listen to somebody with knowledge and experience.
I'm in favor of any of my children following their own initiative and doing their own thing, whatever it may be. And I thoroughly enjoy Sandra's singing. I think she's talented. I think if she had a little bit more support, probably from her family or something like that, she could have had an opportunity to go on far further.
Smile. You look like a family portrait.
Should I call that expression?
Okay, we got 2 tall and 6 short.
Okay, what's maybe what's this one here? We set it up one by one, right?
Yeah.
One by one. Sandra.
Sandra sit.
Why? Okay, that's 3.
That's
No, we have
you're,
to go.
You're out. You're wrong.
Switch! When I was 15, they wanted to get me away from my boyfriend for the summer, so they sent me to a real Bible camp. The beans look like they're drying up. Squash is growing back there. Trying to grow herbs this year. Don't get much herbs. I get a few herbs. These tomatoes, these little stunted corn. Observe the corn. You can't miss the corn. It's one stalk. One stalk of corn. Very nice, yes? Other people have already eaten their corn. This is not even coming up. The corn didn't come up. The birds got it. I put 2 packs of corn right where you're standing. What can I say? Oh. It's so nice to have your own food, you know. How can you just walk outside and all you see is, you know, these horrible buildings with, you know, mess and junk all over the street, you know, and everybody's eyes just looking like death, you know, looking like... You just can't get into it, but if you want to open up your senses, you need to have something to open your senses up into, you know what I mean? And like a forms of life is good. I think it gives you a good mental input, whereas a whole bunch of ugliness everywhere. You just have to recoil from it. You can't be open at all. The thing that makes you fall in love with the South, the thing that the South has to give to the rest of the country, the feeling of people for people. I think that living with the land and living in a smaller, less crowded, more personal environment allows the development of a humanism as opposed to that distrust and coldness that comes from like crowding maybe. So in the country you have white landowners and black landowners and so forth, small farmers who've lived there for 100 years and they know each other, they know the families, they care for each other on a human level. Sandra's always been quite an idealist, and she's done a lot of writing, including a lot of poetry and books of poetry that she has tried very hard to express her life, her feelings, and her being.
Old-fashioned enough to feel like that marriage probably is a desirable institution if they let me pick out they let me make the pairs. I think I could do a better job than they're doing now. Did you have another question?
Well, I think that's enough on that.
Why do you think that she is doing what she's doing rather than the normal existence?
Basically through ignorance.
Yes, it's a feeling that you have something that you had to do, that you're responsible for a certain area of evolution or of life, or the life of everybody. There's only one way to be a singer or be anything is to get the experience of doing it. And this is what it means in our culture, doing what I'm doing, singing these nickel and dime songs and things. Good evening. Welcome back to Rose's Cantina for the second set. The name of the band is Tonda. And as those of you know who have seen us before, that simply means love. The word we got from Africa, and it occurs in several different places. It means to be well-fed and thankful, and it means love. That's what we're here to bring to you tonight. Yeah. Thank you.
This is a little song written by Tonda, and it's definitely got a moving feeling. It's called Something About You, Baby. Something about you,
To express what I think. I think that nobody ever interfered with what he did with his life and what he wanted to do with it. I don't think he ever knew what he wanted to do with his life because he's been a certain amount of frustration in the last, his older years, that maybe he didn't do what he wanted to, which I don't know what it could have been, but nobody interfered with it. It makes me see our generation as something like the phoenix image.
But I still think that people of intelligence, and that's about 5% of the population, have the born and inherited obligation to carry the load of responsibility in our type of society. I think that they have to furnish the leadership and the inspiration and the guidance for the 95% who historically have never been able to think for themselves.
Filled up with screaming, her pain stands gleaming, too far to touch. She didn't ask much. A filling of time, nonsensical rhymes would do, and it did. For a time as a kid, she thought she'd be real, rehearsed how to feel, but the time never came. She forgot her own name.
The images is clear. I don't know, but I know we can't stay here. We've spent the better part of our lives just trying to survive. We're not breaking in there, I can't now.